But further analysis, Ben Aris joins us live from London. He is an editor-in-chief at Business News Europe. Hi there, Ben. It's good seeing you. So if the US does pressure Ukraine toward a rapid peace deal, like many people are afraid could happen, how do you assess the risk that it could embolden Russia and undermine Ukraine's negotiating leverage? And what do you think this could mean for Europe's strategy and defense posture?
Well, there's very difficult talks ahead. And I think what's going to happen today is that Trump and Zelenskyy are going to sit down, and Trump is going to try and persuade Zelenskyy to accept the deal that he struck with Putin in Alaska. And it should be said all the way down the line that Trump has basically supported Putin's position, and he's coming into this meeting having been told by Putin that he demands complete control of the Donbass, and he made a concession saying that he would freeze the fighting along the line of contact in the other two regions to the south. But that would leave Russia with a land bridge connecting Rostov on its border all the way down to the Crimea. And I think there's very little chance that Putin is going to back off from that. I mean, he's been very insistent. The realities on the ground. He keeps saying that we occupy these territories and the Russians are not leaving, despite the fact they're making no progress. And the chances of the Ukrainian forces pushing them out of those territories is also very low. And so this is what it boils down to, that Trump's going to try and persuade Zelenskyy to concede or cede some territory. And the whole conversation is going to be, will he do that? Because he's repeatedly said that the Ukrainian constitution does not allow him to do that. But then the war is going badly and they're running out of arms and money. And so the reality is, and they're facing defeat on the battlefield as Russia's making steady progress. And if that doesn't come off, if Zelenskyy continues to refuse, as he did in April when a similar offer was put up, then the war will continue. And then Europe is going to take over from the States in supporting Ukraine's military effort in terms of both the cost of financing Ukraine and also supplying it with weapons. And this will drag on. Having said that, I think there is some optimism here that the States has made some concessions. It's now talking about security guarantees for Ukraine. And I think that's actually why all the European leaders are there. This has come up, and they're talking about giving Ukraine real Article 5 NATO-style security guarantees, although NATO membership itself is off the table. So if Zelenskyy gets those guarantees, it may be that he's willing to compromise and face the realities and concede some territory. But the issue of giving up the whole of Donbass is going to be very difficult for him, because it also means that he gives up his major defensive line that they've built, which would hold the Russians back. And that's going to be really hard. So I don't know if they persuade Putin to accept that they won't get all of Donetsk, the region in question, then maybe Putin will do a deal. So there is actually some possibility of seeing a way out of this war now.
As our reporter in London reported just a minute ago, Victoria Innes, she said the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced Sunday that a 19th sanctions package on Russia will be unveiled in early September, I believe it is. But do you think, Ben, that sanctions are having any meaningful economic impact on Moscow?
They're having an impact. I mean, certainly the Russian economy is having a lot of problems, but they've been largely ineffective, in so much as like the outlook for Russian growth this year is 1.5%. The fastest growing country in Europe is Poland with 0.8, and everybody else is close to recession. So they hurt, but Putin, for him, it's a secondary concern. He's like, we have enough money, we have enough growth, we have put our entire economy on a war footing, and we're outproducing Ukraine, we're outproducing the EU. Russia makes in 3 months what the whole of the EU makes in weapons in a year. So those don't really concern him. I don't think that's. And also we should point out that Trump, and this is a key point, that Trump's put 0 sanctions on Russia since he took office. And even the August 8th deadline, where he was threatening 100% tariffs, not just on Russia, but its business partners, India and China, who buy its oil, those have slipped past, and there's still no sanctions on Russia. So Trump would have to get into the game, and he has the power to put some very powerful sanctions on Russia, but he seems totally reluctant to put any sanctions on Russia.
Right, we'll leave it there for now. Ben Aris at Business News Europe. Thank you for your time.